The disappearance of 6-year-old Lilly Sullivan and her 4-year-old brother Jack from their home in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, has gripped the nation and left a small rural community searching for answers. It's been over 3 weeks since the siblings vanished on May 2nd, 2025, and the latest RCMP update raises more questions than it answers. What happened to Lilly and Jack? Let's dive into the latest developments in this heartbreaking case. The RCMP recently announced they're collecting trail camera footage from at least 3 neighbors, specifically requesting recordings from April 27th, 5 days before the children were reported missing. This detail has sparked intrigue.
Melissa Scott's trail cameras might contain clues about the disappearance of Lilly and Jack Sullivan. RCMP asked her for days of footage as the investigation into the missing children approaches the 3-week mark.
It's scary, especially not knowing what happens. We definitely keep our kids a little closer to home now.
The 4- and 6-year-olds were reported missing from this home on May 2nd, launching a massive search of the woods surrounding the home. No trace has been found, and RCMP haven't ruled out the case is suspicious. This is some of the footage Scott gave police. She says RCMP major crimes officers came to her home this week, asking for everything on her 7 cameras, starting April 27th, 5 days before the kids were reported missing. 2 of Scott's neighbors were also asked to provide footage to RCMP. She says the officers also asked about her family's vehicles to rule out local traffic in the footage.
Possibly they are wondering if they didn't go missing earlier, or maybe somebody who isn't local to the area was around beforehand.
This road is the most direct path from Scott's property to the home the kids went missing from. We drove between the 2 places. It's about an 18-minute drive down rough dirt roads. Straight through the woods, it's about 5 kilometers.
I did mention to them that I was very happy to see them and glad that they were canvassing a little further and looking at trail cam footage. And they did respond saying that they probably should have been around earlier.
RCMP would not answer CBC's questions, including why they are seeking trail camera footage from before the disappearance and why they are identifying local vehicles. Nicola Sagan, CBC News, Glengarry Station, Nova Scotia.
One neighbor reported that police seemed interested in vehicles captured on camera, possibly looking for an unfamiliar car in the area. Online sleuths, however, speculate that investigators might also be checking for vehicles belonging to the relatives, including the parents, hinting at a deeper look into the family's movements. The RCMP have not ruled out foul play, stating that all missing person cases are treated as suspicious until proven otherwise. The RCMP's delay in requesting this footage has drawn criticism from commenters. And yes, I do read all of your comments. The top comment read, quote, "Why have they only asked her now?" Another writes, "I'm just mad now, over 3 weeks." And another echoes that sentiment, writing, "Why did it take this long to ask neighbors for video footage?" So it appears as though people are starting to question the RCMP's handling of this case, wondering if earlier action could have uncovered critical clues. The police have acknowledged they need to act swiftly, but haven't explained the delay, leaving many people to doubt the investigation's efficiency. The search for Lilly and Jack has been exhaustive but fruitless. For 6 days, up to 160 volunteers scoured 5.5 square kilometers of dense wooded terrain around Garlick Road, ravaged by Hurricane Fiona in 2022. The search was scaled back on May 7th, with the RCMP stating it was unlikely the children were still alive due to their young ages and harsh conditions. Last weekend, over 100 search and rescue volunteers returned for 2 days, focusing on specific areas, but found no trace of the siblings. The RCMP confirmed a single boot print during the initial search, but noted it may not be related. The lack of evidence, including clothing such as a white strawberry backpack Lilly was believed to be carrying, or Jack's distinctive blue dinosaur boots, has baffled investigators and the community alike. Theories about the children's fate are swirling, with some pointing fingers at the family. The children's mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, left the area the day after the disappearance to stay with her mother in Colchester County, cutting off communication with the children's stepfather, Daniel Martel. Reports surfaced of a heated argument on the family's lawn, where Malaya's relatives accused Daniel of involvement. Recently, Malaya reactivated her Facebook, updating her relationship status to single, and appeared to remove any trace of Daniel from her Facebook, fueling speculation online. Many commenters compared this case to that of Summer Wells, a Tennessee girl who vanished in 2021, with her parents' story of her wandering off into the woods met with skepticism. While Lilly and Jack appeared happy and well taken care of in these photos, the family dynamics have raised some serious eyebrows. Why wouldn't the mother stay back and help the search? Daniel Martel, who has been cooperative with police, insists the children slipped out a sliding back door while he and Malaya were with their 1-year-old dog. He estimates the children were gone for, quote, up to 20 minutes, end quote, before he and Malaya noticed the house went quiet. The moment they realized they were gone, Malaya dialed 911 at around 10 a.m. as he immediately went out to search. But the parents were in bed up until at least 9:40 a.m., which raised some red flags of negligence amongst commenters, especially after the release of those drone photos that showed the house in complete disarray. Daniel has heard this speculation loud and clear and has provided his phone, offered to take a polygraph test, and believes the children were abducted, though the RCMP have found no evidence to support this and did not issue an Amber Alert. But as you can see here, the mother did insist on her Facebook for an Amber Alert and believes her children have been abducted. Quote, "My children are not shy to strangers and will go with anyone. They don't understand stranger danger." Malaya explained that her children have undiagnosed autism. The absence of any trace of the children in the rugged woods, especially considering Jack was wearing pull-ups at the time of his disappearance, and they were unlikely to wander far considering their tiny children with small legs, has led many to question the wandered off theory. In a similar case in Truro, Nova Scotia in 2020, 3-year-old Dylan Ehler vanished and his boots were found in a nearby stream, leading police to believe he was carried away by water. Unlike Dylan's case where physical evidence was found, no trace of Lilly or Jack has surfaced. A retired RCMP dog handler, Glenn Brown, with 26 years of experience, called the lack of evidence really strange, noting it's hard to believe 2 young children could vanish without leaving anything behind, especially when most missing children cases leave some trace.
I find it hard to believe that a 6 and 4-year-old would just disappear like that. I guarantee you, if I was still working today, that'd be the thing you'd be racing around your mind all the time. Like, where would they have gone? Like, we have done everything. I think the last thing I read, they searched the square kilometer area, 5 kilometers. That's a big area. And that's meticulously searched.
Online sleuths have dug up other leads, but these remain unconfirmed. A dispatch call released by Plunder True Crime here on YouTube reported a suspicious CRV parked at an abandoned recreational park down the road from the residence on the same day of the disappearance, but the RCMP ran the plates and deemed it unrelated.
There called via 911 from a Karen on a cow. Kind of about 5 minutes. She was reporting just driving past a black Honda CRV, Nova Scotia marker Golf Mike Fox 320, that left the outdoor recreational park close to the residence. It is permanently closed. Malaya is unsure if related, but it felt a bit strange to her. Driver was a white male around 50 years old, bald with a mustache. And it left from 1480 Garlock Road. I can send that down to your MWS if it's easier.
And all stations, just ordering a black SUV just north of the residence and on the left side of the road. Does not appear to be a CRV, but it is a black SUV. If anybody wants to come up and have a look at that, just under the helicopter here now, if you guys have visual of it.
Bravo 3 drove by that on my way in. That's a Kia Sportage, Delta Papa Uniform 468. I didn't run it, but there was nobody in it.
Yeah, we copy that. There are two, looks like 2 individuals walking down towards the lake ahead of the vehicle. And there's a cabin at the end of the lake.
The vehicle comes back to a Gregory Giffen.
Over there in Garlock Road, if you can copy this there, Corporal Short contacted that complainant from that suspicious vehicle call, and everything was done for. Nothing suspicious about it.
So it sounds to me like they did investigate this CRV that ended up being an SUV, and it was empty. There was people walking towards a cabin down the lake, and they ran the plates and they got the name of the person, and they just sort of dismissed it as not suspicious. But I'm wondering if this would require a second look. A high-risk offender named Michael Russell, who is 43 years old in 2023, making him around 45 now, was released in Scottsburn, Nova Scotia in Pictou County, which is about 30 kilometers away from the residence, but no connection to the case has been established so far. And then there's Malaya's estranged father, Henry Brooks, a member of the Sipekne'kanak First Nation, who has a criminal history, including convictions for assault, drug dealing, and firearm offenses. His recent Facebook post calling Malaya baby girl and offering to track his grandchildren has raised questions, but there's no evidence linking him to the disappearance. Similarly, speculation about Daniel's brother, who lived on the property in a trailer and appeared relaxed during the search, has surfaced. Because besides appearing relaxed, even though his niece and nephew have gone missing, sleuths have pointed out just how clean his ATV looks while he was searching for these children. I mean, it was early May, so more than likely it was pretty muddy out, and the only mud I see on this ATV is around the wheel. Like, it almost looks too clean, like he hosed down or something. Even his boot appears to have no dirt on the bottom of it. But again, these remain unverified theories. And according to Grok AI, runaways are the main reason children go missing, making up 73% of cases, often due to family issues. But after that, family abductions account for about 122 cases in 2019, usually linked to custody disputes. Whereas stranger abductions are rare, with only 16 cases in 2019 and 50 in 2023, often involving someone the child knows slightly. So it seems like the most probable scenario after them wandering off into the woods is that a family member had something to do with it. As the investigation continues, the RCMP are following up on over 180 public tips and have interviewed 35 people, including those closest to the children. With no confirmed sightings, no Amber Alert issued due to insufficient evidence of abduction, and a community desperate for closure, the mystery of Lilly and Jack Sullivan deepens. If you have any information, contact the Pictou County RCMP at 902-485-4333 or Nova Scotia Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. Let's keep hope alive and bring these children home.